is not a race. It is okay. It is okay to take time to heal. It is okay to feel. Even when the pain is irreversible, it is not beyond seeking justice. Your voice matters. Speak up. Welcome to the Speak With Our podcast. My name is Miriam. You can call me Mirabel Talker, and I am excited to be the host on today's episode titled From Victim to Survivor. Joining me is my amazing co-host,
Elizabeth. It's nice to be here.
Thank you for being here. And in the studio today, we have a familiar face. If you have been watching the episode on the Speak With Our podcast, you know that she is one of the strongest female team member I've ever known, the barrister in making. She's a passionate advocate for the rights of girl child and women. She'd like to share her insights on girl child abuse, what to do in such situations, how to navigate the process, and who to report to. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Miss Onayemi Oluwafeyisayo.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am so grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining me as our guest speaker today. We really do appreciate it. So before we dive into the conversation, as I mentioned earlier, that from victim to survivor, and it usually happens to the girl child. Although I haven't seen a real situation, a real life case, I've not experienced this before, but I feel like whenever we listen these things on social media, we see it in stories, movies, and all sorts of report cases as regards to this situation. What is that thing that usually comes to my mind is that what if the girl child actually experienced, the moment she experienced it, she'll be like, what do I do first? I'm not knowing what to do first makes that thing to be continuous and damaging her emotionally. And this brings to the question, if a girl child is being abused, what is the first thing she should do?
Okay, thank you very much. So if a girl child is being abused, the first thing she should do is to tell a trusted individual. It can be a parent or a sibling, a mentor, a matured and trusted person. And the next thing is that she should proceed to an organization we call SARC. They have different branches everywhere. The full meaning of Sexual Referral Centre. So what they do there, and as soon as she's abused, in the case of rape or other sexual abuses like we have unwanted touching and so on, she should proceed to SARC. So once she should ensure she doesn't take a bath before going, because that can destroy whatever evidences. Like now, the fingerprint abuser must have been on her body, or in the case of rape, the abuse fluid will still be in her body. But if she has cleaned up before going to the place, she will have destroyed the evidence like that. So that is what they do in SARC. So instead of her going to the police station, she should proceed to the place. That is what they do in that place.
Okay, so where's the location of the SARC, Abby?
Well, yes, SARC.
Do they have any branches nearby? You didn't mention of the fact that the abuse should not date herself. She shouldn't be, so that the evidence will not disappear, right? Okay, let's take note of that. And the NGO office, where is their location, their branches? Where can we just find them?
Okay, so they have different branches in different states. Like for Lagos State, we have the Mirabel Center, where they handle rape and other sexual abuses case. So we have different, even in Ogun State, we have, and I know of one that is in Ogun State. So in different states, the victim should proceed there. So they will handle it from that with so much professionalism.
Okay, that's what the first thing the abuse should do. You said the abuse should report to a mentor, someone that she trusted, that she thinks that person can advise her so that that thing won't continue itself and then leads to emotional damage, right? And she said if she can
Yes.
proceed, and you said if she can proceed to reporting to some NGOs offices, okay? So, due to my curiosity, not just myself, but to someone watching this, and I think it will be beneficial to that person. I believe that every situation has its own reason. We all believe that whenever something is happening to us, we'll be like, okay, maybe maybe it's because of this. That's the reason why this thing is happening to me. And the thing is that why should every girl know that abuse is never their fault? Whereby a girl child will be like, okay, let me just take the blame to myself. I think it's my fault. Why should I be?
Thank you very much. So a girl should know that abuse is never her fault, rather was never her fault, because number one, realization is the first step to healing. And I want her to know that this is actually the aim of the abusers most times. So it is used for manipulation, because once she believes that, oh, it is my fault, maybe I shouldn't have put on short skirts, maybe I shouldn't have been rude, she will not be able to report to the necessary authorities. So with that, the abusers know that once he used that as a manipulation tool for her, she will not be able to report, and justice will not be gotten. So once she understands that, oh, this is not my fault, that's the first step to healing. Because the moment she begins to drown in self-blame, other mental issues can set in, psychological issues like depression, PTSD. The full meaning of PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, and different. She can even begin to have suicidal thoughts. So for justice to be served and for healing, she needs to understand that it was never her fault. The abuser carefully planned it, so it was never her fault.
Did you mention that a girl child shouldn't claim the fault all by herself, because it can be what the abuser actually planned. So it is the plan of the abuser that the girl child should claim everything to herself. Do you get? So now what she's trying to tell us that a girl child should know that the abuser is her fault. He is the one that damaged her. So definitely he shouldn't take that for granted. He should seek justice for it, because it is not beyond seeking justice.
To that question. All right. So, going further in the question, thank you once again for being here. I would like to ask that why, okay, if a girl is being abused, what should be the first thing that she should do? If a girl finds herself in an abusive situation, what is the very first step that she should take, especially in moments where she feels scared, confused, or unsure of what to do or who to trust?
Okay, so like I said earlier, I already made mention of that, but let me make a recap. Okay, so I said first, she can speak to her parents, a trusted person, and after that, it can even be a mentor, like a mature emphasis on maturity. The person must be matured and someone that she really trusts. Then she will proceed to SARC. And the full meaning of SARC is Sexual Assault Referral Centre. So what they do there is that they collect forensic evidence. So and I made mention of the fact that for her to be able to aid the investigation, she should ensure she doesn't take her bait. Even in the case of rape and other sexual abuse, in case of rape, the abuser's fluid will still be on her body. If it is in the case of maybe unwanted sexual touching, at least the fingerprints of the abuser will still be in her body. So what they do in SARC is that they collect forensic evidences like that. So which aids the investigation of the police. They submit those forensic evidences to the police. So it will really help them to be able to carry out the necessary investigation and then charge their and after the investigation has been completed, then they will charge the abuser to court.
So thank you so much, and my apologies for having to let you go back, but I'm sure that it's also like a good thing that our audience can just like a reassurance or reformation of what you said. Okay, so moving forward, I would like to go to the next question, and my question is: for a girl who is afraid to speak up, especially because of fear, shame, or possible consequences, who are the safe and trusted places that she can turn to? I know you mentioned it earlier. You talked about places or people that she can reach out to, but how can she identify? Because I have heard of situations where some people even open up to people that say we think in quotes are trusted organizations and all of that, and the next thing is their stories are out there being shared. For a fact, of course, they might not necessarily put name, but you that you shared your story would know for a fact when they are saying something that, okay, this is my story. It's just that the person did not put name, and then you feel very bad. And a girl would want to, because of that situation or circumstance, want to hold back. I know even of religious leaders and none of that that you talk to, because she believes that they are trusted people. And at the end of the day, they still share their story with someone in the bid of trying to say that they are using their story to encourage other people. So in situations like that, what if the person around her does not feel safe, or how does she identify particularly who can protect her?
Okay, thank you for that question. Thank you for that question. I feel instead of her, I know that, and I'm sure that instead of her proceeding to speak to strangers, she should be able to talk to her parents, and that is where parental duty comes from. And I would like to use this opportunity to speak to parents that they should ensure that they are not too hard on their children. They should ensure that they are so free with them to be able to discuss everything with them. So as a parent, the girl child should be able to speak with her parents. Yes. And that's why I'm also, for the sake of emphasis, I'll be using this opportunity to speak to parents again that please pay attention to your children. They cannot have you and still be looking for pastors to talk to. Those ones are secondary. So even if she doesn't have parents, the way she can be able to know that, oh, this person is so, she can even speak to her sibling. Yes, and she should be sure that they listen attentively, they believe in her, because she should be able to know that based on the current relationship she shares with them and the kind of rapport they have, and the way she has observed them to be mature and reasonable, she should not just open up to any person. She should be a mature person, and she should not have the Christian stereotype that, oh, because I'm a Christian, then my pastor is the most suitable person. Just because the person is a pastor, or just because the person is older, does not mean the person is the perfect person to speak to. So she should first erase that mentality. The first thing she should look for is that, is this person trustworthy? Will this person believe me? Do we have that rapport? Is this person mature? And then she should look at the values of the person. Is it this person that I want to tell my story to? Will the person not share my story? Because at least for irresponsible people, they are not too far-fetched to know. Because based on our interactions with them, she will have seen some signs that, no, this person is not responsible. There are some people that they don't know how to keep secrets, and they must have shown it in her past experiences with them. She must have seen the way they spoke about other people's situation. At least someone that comes with you with different gists. She's one that knows what is happening to Mommy CD. She's one that knows what is happening to Yashewa. And how then will you still feel comfortable to tell that person, to speak to that person concerning your situation? So she should observe people first. What are their values? Is it the kind of person that will be like, don't worry now, and what, you are a girl now, you should be able to do this, you should be able to endure? No. She should avoid people like that. People that are matured, that listen well, that have good behaviors, and they have a sense of urgency. Not those people that they'll be like, ah, don't worry, don't worry. They'll keep postponing it and be like, hey, don't worry now. I'm busy. I'm this. I'm that. No. So that's my thoughts.
It's amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. I believe that every girl out there now knows or how to identify who to talk to, who to open up to, the right people to have conversations with when they feel they are being abused or they are going through an abuse. I just want to ask, because I believe that this is another question that most people, parents most especially, will want to know or want to be aware of. So it's just like an extra question, if you will pardon us, which is that it relates to it. So that for girls who may not even realize that they are being abused, what are some subtle signs or red flags that they should be aware of?
Okay. So if I get you right, you said what are the subtle signs that a girl should watch out for her to know she's being abused? Number one is that, you see, there's this age long practice that I see a lot of parents and a lot of girls that see it as, oh, this is a normal thing. Number one, unnecessary unwanted touching. Why is that uncle or why is that auntie touching your private part, and they'll say, I'm just joking now. You've added weight, or what's this? Stop using style and say they are joking. And that thing, I also experienced it, because I can remember that there was a time in church, the woman said she was joking with me, and then she was touching my butt. And from there it will turn to another thing. I remember when I was in primary school, so there was this teacher then. Then, you probably thought, oh, these girls, they are naive, they don't understand things like that. But due to the way my parents used to be like, if anybody touches you, tell me then. So the uncle will want to touch us. At first, he will say he's joking, he's laughing with us. Then he will touch us, and at that stage, we knew it was wrong, because there are some places that is not supposed to be touched as a lady. So we have to report to the necessary bodies, and those places, they are your private parts. Apart from your private part, there's a way a person can rub your skin, and when it's persistent, shout, tell the person, don't touch me like this again. Then speak to a trusted person, report the person. Sexual abuse is not something that you take lightly. Once you notice that kind of person, that someone is touching you, it can even be like, or maybe when the person wants to hug you and the hug is looking, and is turning to another thing. The first point is, if you notice you are not comfortable with a particular form of touching, speak up. Don't say, oh, I don't want people to feel like, I'm old school or I'm too rigid. Speak up. And this age young habit of an uncle telling you to sit on his laps as a girl child, even if it's your father's, maybe your father's younger brother, or maybe your kinikon, no. Stop it, shun that act, refuse it. So, and then it's can even between siblings. Don't say, oh, this person is my brother, he cannot do anything like that. Don't live your life like that. Don't have that mindset. Once you are not comfortable in a particular way, speak up. And if that thing persists, report to a trusted person. Before you know it, there are a lot of rape cases that they start in a day. It's first started from Moshe. I'm just playing with you now. Why are you so strict? I'm just joking with you. Nobody will want to be your friend. You are too strict. No, let them say that you are strict. Let them say that you are wicked. Yes, I am wicked, but I'm protecting myself. If you are not comfortable with it, don't condone it. So that's my thoughts. Those are my thoughts, rather.
So much. Thank you so much, because I believe that that's one important question that parents should know, even girl child out there should know, that as little as holding you for too long, touching you, and none of that, they are very important. And as we conclude this session, I'm going to hand over to Mariam, but I would like to say this for every girl child out there, to remember that your voice matters, your safety matters, and your story is very valid. No one deserves an abuse. So help is always within reach. Always reach out, always speak up, and you're going to have a bright future. Thank you so much once again, ma'am, for joining us and doing this with us. At this point, I will hand over to Mariam to conclude the session.
Thank you so very much, my coach. I really do appreciate because you've said it all, you've said everything all. And thank you, Ms. Onayemi Oluwafeyisayo, for these insights, for this information. I believe that any girl child of any age, it can be maybe 10 years, teenager, or a lady, an adult that has experienced this before, or you are experiencing it, and you feel like you are stuck in it, you don't know what to do. I believe you have your answers already. I believe you know what to do right. I believe you know how to navigate the process, and you can do the right thing because you have a bright future ahead of you. So don't let that thing, don't let that bad thing, don't let it what, don't let it affect your future. So remember to subscribe, like, and share this episode. It will soon be uploaded on the T to the S to the W to the H on YouTube channel. We've come to the end of this episode. Bye.